1 minute since I have filmed anything. I'm going to try to use the pivot today. I've got a jumping lesson on Ranita, and then I am going to work on some stuff on the flat with 10 and Zeke. I am very excited. We've got some really cool things coming up as far as just like plans and whatnot. Yeah, so everybody's been good. I don't really have a whole lot of updates as far as like the horses go. Everybody's been doing super good. Zeke has been super great as far as schooling changes and stuff like that. So I'm really hoping that by next spring, he's got solid changes on both leads, and I'm a little bit better on the timing and stuff. So I'm really hoping that we can get my last third level score on him at the next April at the art show at the NEC. It is usually the first weekend of April, so I'm hoping that I can get them to that show, and I will do second level with 10 and do because I still need both my second level scores, and to do third level I just need one score, so to do third level with Zeke, and then to do fourth level test 1 with Zeke as well. So I'm really hoping we can debut into fourth level. Yes, so if I look like I'm talking really funny, it's because my mouth is still kind of swollen. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I know I say that all the time, but I posted on my stories, I got bit by a dog, so my face is kind of torn up a little bit, so that unfortunately did happen. So yeah, so my mouth is a little sore and swollen and just a little ouchy and just some stuff going on. I am on my way to the barn, obviously, and I'm hoping I'll have as good of rides as I did yesterday. Probably won't, because that's just how it goes when you actually like start filming them or whatever. The rides don't always end up going very well. And they're always super great when you're not filming. That's just unfortunately how it goes. I really want to work on the half passes with Zeke and work on some changes, and I really want to work on some of the fourth level movements as far as like in fourth level 1 you have when you do a medium trot, you do a medium trot, then collect a little bit at the center line, and then back to medium trot again. So I really want to work on that with him, because he can kind of get so much into it, and he's so big that it's really hard to get him back for those couple steps. So I want to start working on that with him, just so that way he's kind of prepared, because since I've had him, when we've done a medium or extended trot, it's always just been, you know, kind of down the long side. So I kind of want to work with some of that extending, bring back, extending, bring back. And with 10, we have started schooling changes. It is not the prettiest, but I'm hoping I can at least get it on video to show you guys the exercise that we have been doing to start introducing the changes. And he's a little bit flustered through them, but that will eventually get better. So I'm just warning you now, if I can get it on video, and I do get it on video, it is not pretty. It's ugly, and it is hard for him, and he really has to think and use his body, and he gets so proud of himself after he does it, but he needs a lot of help, but he gets mad that he needs a lot of help. So it looks kind of icky, you know, because doing a change in more of like a hand gallop type scenario or a gallop scenario is much different than doing it from a collected canter. So he obviously has the changes, like when we're going around course and stuff. He can get them, like, you know, because we're obviously going faster. He's used to the changes in that sense, but he's not used to them in a slow, collected, so it's a little bit more difficult for him. But he's coming along so great. We've been working on really trying to get him stepping up underneath himself in the trot, so that way his trot can be a little bit less bouncy. The video of my lesson with Debbie should probably be up before this one. So obviously you saw this before, but I've been continuing to work on what she was having us do, where I'm essentially kind of pushing my hands forward like a lot more, and it literally feels like my arm is like straight out here, but it's not. And really pushing him forward into the bridle, because he can have a tendency to curl a little bit and kind of step sideways, which makes it super bouncy and super uncomfortable. Getting him to step up and come through is really what's going to help that trot. So I've been working on a lot of that. I have been taking him out into, there's a fly in my car. I've been taking him down to the area like where the cornfields are and stuff. There is some tall grass, so it really makes him have to pick up those hind legs and bring them forward. So we've been working on that when we do our trot sets to get him in shape for eventing, and I think it's really, really helped. So yeah, he's coming along so nicely. I'm so excited. His shoulder in is really nice. We've been practicing a lot more of the half pass, and yesterday I kind of challenged him a little bit and had him do obviously the canter half pass, which is a little bit more difficult for him because the canter has always been his weakest, but now it's actually becoming his strongest, which is kind of interesting. I'm going to work on that a little bit more with him, and then also work on trot to canter transitions, because we are going to a mini event this weekend. I'm so excited. I'm so happy I was able to make it to a couple more shows through the end of this year. I think I'm going to be able to do this one, and then I think I might be able to do the NEC schooling show, the dressage schooling show. So that one's still kind of up in the air and to be determined, but the mini event was pretty affordable. So I'm taking Ranita and 10. 10 is going to do beginner novice, and Ranita is going to be doing novice. So I'm excited. Hopefully I can get the GoPro again, and yeah, so I do have a jumping lesson on Ranita tonight, and then I've got a jumping lesson on 10 tomorrow night. And then Saturday, I'm taking Zeke to a hunter pace, so that will be super, super fun. Then 10 and Ranita will go to the mini event on Sunday. So jam-packed week and weekend. I feel like I'm finally kind of starting to get back into things, and I'm starting to get back into a little bit of a routine. The weather, for the most part, has kind of cooled off a little bit, which has been nice. It's hot today, and it'll be hot this weekend, but I think it's going to start dropping. And yeah, so I've been enjoying just going out to Queenie and schooling, and I love the barn that I'm at. I love just, I'm super happy with how everything's going right now. So yeah, that's about it. I have to grab my Pivo out of my trailer and charge it because it's dead. So I don't know how much of my rides I'll be able to get, but I'm hoping to at least get something. If not, worst case scenario, I can film that stuff some other time, but I'm hoping I can at least get the exercise on Zeke, because I think that would, exercise on 10. I know everybody loves watching Zeke. I love riding Zeke, but I think it'll be super beneficial for some of the people that follow me that are kind of in the position I am, where they're starting to either introduce changes or they're struggling with changes. This exercise she gave me was the best way to kind of start introducing them. So basically the gist of it is you pick up the counter canter and kind of counter canter across the arena. And the idea is that they want to be balanced, and then you ask for the change a little bit more exuberantly than you would normally. And so you ask for the change, and then they should be able to give it to you. He's better doing it off the left going onto the right lead because he's stronger on his left lead, but he is doing really, really well regardless. So I'm kind of want to get videos just to see if they're clean or not, because I know I can feel when they're like super late behind, but it's hard for me to feel when they're just late behind one. So I just pulled up to the barn, so I'm gonna head in and start doing what I need to do. Hello everybody, I'm here recording the voiceover. So it is October 19th, and these videos were filmed probably back in September at some point. So it's been quite a bit. But I just kind of wanted to walk you through this ride that I had on 10, because showing you the rides on Ranita, you can kind of hear Paula's commenting. But basically, after I walk around on a loose rein and trot around on a loose rein, I will go back to the walk and kind of establish that soft under neck, and then trying to get him to walk forward from the hind and not pull with his front and his neck and his shoulders. So essentially it's a lot of repetition of halt, send forward, and really getting him to use the hind legs versus the front legs, because that's what's really going to build that hind end strength and get that muscle over the top line. So once I do that both directions, then I will start going into a little bit more of a picked up trot. Typically with him, I do more posting than I do sitting, just because one, it's more comfortable for me, but his trot is slowly getting more and more comfortable to sit, so that is huge. But essentially here, basically what I was describing in the intro part of this video, I try to kind of push my hands forward and send him forward into my hands, which is really hard for him. However, this is going to help us so much more in the long run by doing a lot of this now, trying to get that impulsion and that cadence, and really trying to get him to lift his back and use his back and push forward, because that is going to make everything so much easier when we start doing higher level stuff. So I do this every single ride. It doesn't matter if I'm doing it in a warm-up before we jump. I do this process every single ride, where I essentially push my hands forward, really push him up forward into the contact to try and get him to step underneath instead of stepping up and out with his hind legs, which is what makes him very, very bouncy and uncomfortable to sit. So you can see there, I kind of just sent him forward a little bit and then ask him to go to the halt. Just try and get him to drop just a little bit, and once he does, then I pat him and let him go. So now I'm not sure what I worked on next, but typically I'll do a little bit of sitting trot into some leg yields, 10-meter circles, and work on shoulder in. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. So trying to do the 10-meter circle into that shoulder in is so much better. He does lose momentum when he does go into the lateral movement, so you can see I just kind of tap there on his butt with the whip just to send him forward. And that's really the biggest thing that I have with him, is just getting him forward instead of kind of balling up and hollowing out and getting choppy. That is our biggest struggle. He does have a, which you'll see kind of in the video, which if you've been following me for quite some time, you will know this. 10 has a very funny hind end. He's got a very hitchy hind end, especially on the left hind. So the hind with the right sock. And it's not anything that's been a lameness issue. It's not, anything that the vets are concerned about. I have had multiple x-rays done on his hind end. I had an MRI, or not an MRI, an ultrasound done on his stifles and his hocks. Nothing that came out that looked crazy. So a lot of it just kind of has to do with him, and I don't know if it is a trait maybe that's passed down from Temple City, because Raina's horse, or Kenzie's horse Raina, she kind of has the same thing, and they both have the same sire, Temple City. So I don't know if that's kind of a hereditary thing that's gotten passed down. If you do have a Temple City baby and you do notice that, please let me know. But that's kind of where our biggest struggle is with a lot of this movements, is he kind of catches with that hind end and he gets a little stressed out about it. So now I am very uncomfortably trying to sit his trot and trying to get him, so you can see how I'm basically straightening my arms, pushing the reins to him, and to try and get him to go forward into more of a medium trot. We've kind of established that extension is probably not going to be his strong suit, but I have a feeling the lateral work and the changes will be. So every horse has their strengths and their weaknesses, and his is just not really going to be that trot extension, but I could be wrong. So now I'm working on a little bit of counter canter, and he does get a little bit stressed out in the counter canter because, I mean, it's hard, you know? It's really, really hard. I just try to be as quiet, truthfully, in the saddle and stay out of his way as much as possible. And this is that exercise I was trying to tell you. So you basically come out of a corner in a counter canter, come across, and ideally they will want to be balanced and switch their lead. So that is the exercise that I've been working on with him. And if you do follow my Instagram, you'll see just how far he's come in the changes just within the past month. And you can see that I always pat him and I always tell him he's good whenever he tries. So even if he doesn't swap the lead, even if he just feels like he's going to, like he jumps up a little bit, even if he didn't swap, I pat him and I tell him he's a good boy. And I think that's come a long way because he's more inclined to want to do them. So here he tried, but he couldn't quite get it. So I patted him and let him know, hey, it's okay. So he didn't get stressed out. I want all of this to be the least stressful it can be for him. And in between, this ride's kind of going to go back and forth and bounce around a little bit because I have to switch things up after like 3 or 4 times of doing something, just because he'll get either stressed out or bored or just want to try something else. So I do have to change and adjust every movement that I do. And I'm working on trying a little bit of a half pass to a change. And he tried the jump there, so I had already pat him. Obviously, he didn't get that hind end, but he did swap the front. So any effort, I'm going to reward him. Now, if he's just straight up naughty and like bucking for no reason, then obviously I'm not going to reward him. But if he offers a buck after a change, you know, I'm still going to pat him because they're hard. This is a hard process, and you know, I'm trying to keep his brain busy, and he likes learning new things. He likes doing new things, but he can tend to overthink it a lot and kind of try to get balled up a little bit, which is what happened there, and I just sent him forward. He's so cute. He's like, this is hard, Mom. He tends to do better when he's a little fresh because he's a lot more forward. When he's being lazy, which is how he was today, he was pretty lazy this day, he has a hard time because he's just kind of like not connecting his hind end. So when he is a little up and a little bit more fresh, even though sometimes he can get very unfocused and spook at stuff, I tend to like that 10 better because I feel like we get more done. Look at he's so good. Look at him there. Yeah. Even though he's late behind, he stayed the same. I mean, he was really good. The counter canter's hard for him. He does love when he does things right, and he likes. So one of the horses kicked the wall over there, and he was like, "Oh my god!" And then I think they did it again, and he was like, and he's like, "No, it's spook." So I kind of just ignore it. and try and move on. Just trying to get him back and get him focused. But I do a lot of walking with him, especially in more of a collected walk, because you can do so much at the collected walk. His walk pirouettes are really, really good. I'm really excited. Debbie was really impressed at our last lesson this past weekend. So this arena in particular is very small. So you see how he swapped the back there and then got the front. But hey, that's better than him swapping the front and the back, in my opinion. So the left to, or is it the right to left change? I can't remember which one's better, but I think it's the right to left. No, it's the left or right that's better, I think. Gosh, I don't even know. But we're working on a little bit of half pass, but you can see how he kind of hops up with the hind end. And this process is very uncomfortable for me too, because he's not the smoothest when he does it. But at this point, I'm just trying to strengthen him. And since I do have those bulging discs, he has quite a bit of impact on me in the saddle, and it can be quite uncomfortable. So this process has been a little difficult, but I do my best with what I have and my ability of what I can do. I'm obviously not perfect, but he's come really, really far. So he's obviously swapped that hind end there first, and then his canter there after that was really, really nice. I really like the energy and the uphillness of it. So after this, I think I stopped with the canter work and stopped. No, one more, and then I stopped with that and then went to do the trot half passes and just kind of ended on that, because the half pass strengthens their stifles really well. The pirouette walk strengthens their stifles. And then you see that little hitch right there. So that's kind of our biggest issue. I think it's just more so mechanical, and I truly feel that as his hind end strengthens and as we get into doing some more difficult stuff that takes a lot more strength and he starts to build that strength, I really think that will likely start dissipating, because it's already gotten a lot better than what it used to be. So I think it's more so just that. But I mean, he has had quite a rough life on the track, and I never thought he would even be at this point in time schooling stuff like this. So I'm just really, really, really proud and really happy with him. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little ride on him now for Ranita being literally feral.
The bigger the better!
Yeah, we'll see what she's deserving of.
Yeah.
Then go to the other one.
What are you doing?
Same thing. Yep.
Kenzie's here. Yeah! Kenzie's here.
Ranita! Don't knock it over.
It's recording now. Does it zoom? Oh.
Easy. That's okay. She waited.
I like the sound effects, dude.
Settle. Or the 7. We'll take it. Because it didn't even dawn on her that might be related. No, it didn't. Which I'm kind of down with. I don't mind that at all. So, now we'll let her. Why don't we let her? Whatever she does, just let her go to it. Good. Now organize here. Relax your hand and looking where you're going. Right leg. Look at your jump. Good. Now slow down. Okay. Very good, Kelsey. Now she was better to the long gallop. You know when she falls up and acts a fool? Yeah. Just put your outside leg on her and kind of ignore her. Okay. Because she's going to bounce. Yeah. We've determined that. Yep. You know? Chill a little.
Probably not.
Yeah. There. And just let her focus. Whoa. Get ahead of you. Kill it. There, and now you're just going around the ring. And she's leaping and plunging all she wants. Oh. Sit up. Very good there, huh? She is a psychopath. She is certifiable.
She's in a mood today.
Support. Whoa. Kill it. It's okay. Just got there too quick. Outside or bending. Yeah. Can you go set that up? Oh. Excellent. Slow up. Soften. Very good, cows. Watch her. Watch her. Settle. Okay, that's on you.
I didn't trust the long distance.
You don't want the long distance. Whoa, whoa. Good girl, Kelsey. Now, the bending happened because you didn't get her back soon enough.
Yeah.
Okay?
Good girl.
You can't give it up. I mean, this is kind of her. If she was easy.
Everyone would ride her.
Yep.
That's why we have a Kelsey.
She likes crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, whoa, both right. Very good. I don't know what the move in the middle was, but I'm down with it if she...
Who? Who? He's like, wee! I know. You're so bored. What music is she playing, huh?
Doesn't